Hi Pisces, welcome to your December Tarot Insights. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. I'm offering two special discount offers for the month of December, and I also have new readings available. So if you would like to know more info about my services, again, just email me and I will gladly provide all the info. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link down below, where you can also find my Instagram and Facebook page. So, Pisces. This month of December may be a little bit of a foggy, confusing month, because I feel like some of you are not walking in stable ground, or the ground in which your life or the circumstances you are involved with, the ground of it, it's really shaky. So there may be things about it, or things about your life in general, that are bringing fear for some of you, and for others just a very, very, very confusional force, a very confusional energy, not knowing what to do. There's this distinction between two groups of Pisces. One's where you may be feeling like you're drifting off and you don't know what you're doing with your life. You may be very, 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 again, susceptible and sensitive to energies of illusion and delusion at the same time, not knowing what's real in your life, not knowing what's real about relationships and the aspirations for your future. Suddenly may seem like a blackout energy. You don't see the way, you don't see the stars, you don't see where the dream lies, or even if you still do, the way to get there, the way to get towards your goal and your aspiration suddenly just seems that there's no clearance there. There's no clear vision about what to do. So it's a month where your decisions, or decisions based on irrational responses from your subconscious energies, are more possible to happen. You do have the moon in the subconscious, which is interesting because the moon deals with the subconscious. The moon deals with everything that we hide, everything that is hidden as well at the same time from us. It's about our reactions, our irrational responses, our fears, our deepest needs and emotions, our past history as well. So it's a month where Pisces may be very emotional, but at the same time trying to balance emotional, again, irrational responses with more objective, clear ones, because you also have here the Justice and the Queen of Swords, which means as the month progresses, and as some of you are aware of this energy and trying to breathe in and breathe out, and make sense of what it is and what it's not, learning to differentiate fear, again, illusion, from real, tangible, truthful aspects and circumstances, you can then even out here and balance the scales between the heart, again, the emotional side of you, and the mental side of you. It's like there's a need to balance these two, the mind and the heart. It's really like something that may be very important for some of you during this period, to balance it out, because going towards extremes, either being too emotional or too mental, can end up somehow interfering in the balance that some of you are trying to reach, or you need to reach, to better your life and to find the solutions some of you are wanting to find. I feel like some Pisces may have here unexpected news or information or situations that suddenly strike them in their life that they are not expecting, and this sense of suddenness, sudden situations and messages or information that you were not expecting. This may be the trigger, okay, for the moon, the devil, and then the Justice card. It's like there are things reaching you during this month, and it's in the past position. So for some of you, it's already happened, or for some of you, it's about to happen. whatever this is, this energy of suddenness and um, additional information or communication that you were not expecting going your way, it's triggering that need to be aware of your fear. Okay, what is keeping you from making proper decisions, from having a proper reaction, maybe to adapt or change, negative circumstances that surround you or people. What's keeping you from doing it? And at the same time, in the other side, what is causing, okay, a degree of maybe for some of you of anger or irritation or feeling. I feel like some Pisces, I'm sorry, are feeling used or abused in a certain way, or you're feeling like nobody fits your standards, or nothing fits your standards, nothing fits that high degree of logical thinking on how things should have been and how people should be. So there's two extremes here. There is Pisces extremely vulnerable and sensitive and fearful and dominated by their own, again, fears and emotions. There are Pisces dealing with attachments to unhealthy uh, old ways of being or unhealthy relationship patterns that is also soul consuming, because you do have the devil in the soul position, which means that your soul is not as clear or as cleansed, let's say, uh, as it should, to provide to you again the clarity and the comfort and the strength to believe in your future or to believe in how things will get better. You do have that extreme sensitive side, and then you have this extreme rational, cold, detached, logical, critical aspect here. So depending on which Pisces you are and in how things end up happening and what side again you choose to be, just be aware that the trick here or the message here is to be balanced and to be fair. Okay, this is a month where any attempt of abuse, either you abusing your power or you abusing the concept of you abusing truth, you're abusing you manipulating situations or circumstances and people again towards your own interest, or anybody abusing you and doing this to you, not respecting you. There's a sense of lack of respect. That's what I wanted to say. I feel like either you are not respecting someone, or someone is not respecting you, and this is very important to address as well during this period. Okay, there's a need to come to terms, to agreements in terms of relationships that you still want to save and fix in your life or better in your life. There's a need to sit down and really have that hard talk or that hard conversation during this period, because the tendency to be abused or dominated or subjugated to the other's wishes and desires is strong, with the devil there and the moon. But it could also be that you are doing this to others, and you may need to come to terms that maybe you are as well not being fair. So issues of justice and fairness. What is fair? What is not? Who has been fair? Who hasn't? It's like that. I mean, at the same time, there's an energy here of the two sides of the same coin for some of you. So you and another person in your life, in whichever shape or form, you may have that very different versions of the same story, or there may be that may be the piece of information that I was talking about. There may be here issues with the story or the facts that you present and the other person presents, or the story again is just doesn't add up to what you have experienced or what you believe happened. So Again, very important to be aware of projection and the aspect of reflecting maybe our own fears, our own irrational, again, um, responses, and projections of idealism as well, of what others should be to us. It's really important to keep that in mind so you don't feel, again, abused, mistreated, or betrayed. This is a combination that can talk about betrayal. But this betrayal is one of, usually the moon and the devil together is something that is very of our own doing, because we've created that fantasy, or we've created, a life built on fear, choices based on fear, choices based on um, easy ways out, or gratifications, or again, lies. There, if there is lies in your life, you're going to find out about it this month. It could be lies you have been telling yourself, but it could also be lies that others have been telling you. And suddenly you may find out that everything you, again, was your ground for some of you, it stops being as sure or as certain. Of course that this is for some of you. Others of you are dealing with what I call, we usually call here in the spiritual community, the dark night of the soul, which means that some of you, again, you are having your certainties, your attachments, your relationships, your beliefs tested or taken away. And when this happens, again, we are forced to grow and transform and awaken to this new version of ourselves. And this is, until we get there, it's extremely painful, and it demands a lot from us in terms of growth and in terms of work on the self and healing. So some of you may be in the part of healing, which is the most difficult one, because it's when the dark night, again, comes, and everything suddenly, it's like blackout, right? It's dark, we don't see the way, we are afraid, we are alone, we are betrayed, we are dealing with a lot of things at the same time. There are Pisces going through the dark night of the soul. Things are going to get better. Keep pushing, okay, to find the truth within you. What's the truth? Your truth. What makes sense to you? Where is your integrity? Where is your honor? What's your code of honor? And respect that. Don't be afraid to demand that. Don't be afraid to put boundaries where they are needed to be, but also don't be afraid to make decisions based on truth. Because I feel like some of you are afraid or you are torn between making decisions based on truth, or remaining in a lie, or continuing to live in deceitful, let's say, in a deceitful environment, a deceitful relationship, a deceitful work, or whatever it is. It's just like there's something consuming your soul. And there's this month of December may be like a purge as well for some of you. It's like purging, pushing until you find that catharsis and you are free from something. Because with the moon and the devil could even be a long-term attachment. It could be an ex or a relationship that happened a long time ago and you still didn't find, again, the inner liberation. It can be about something that defined you long time ago, a trauma or a negative event. It could be such strong fears that you hold and you have been trying to masquerade, or to mask, or to not care, or to not pay attention to avoid looking at them, and then suddenly they all come back. There's a sense here as well for Pisces that some of you may have your fears especially triggered, not because they are new, or there are new, necessarily new things coming. It's more like there are triggers, yes, but the thing is, usually the moon and the devil, again, these fears are from a long time. And what happens is usually there's a period where, again, we are being called to face fears, or to liberate ourselves from the power it holds over us in our lives. And when that happens, the spotlight, it's all on that. That's why suddenly it seems like we are more afraid than we have ever been, or everything is just bringing fear or bringing reactions of anxiety, or just being really unsettled, it's because the spotlight is there now, because now it's the time where you are being asked to deal with it so you can move forward with a healthier life, and a life where you are making, it's like a life where you are cutting down the illusion, you know, taking away anything, okay, that it's actually um, blinding you, blinding you from your life, from your truth, from your path, from your happiness, from who you really are. I also feel like there are Pisces here that have been involved, you know, in things that have been basically it has been keeping them from becoming the truthful versions of themselves and believing in their minds, believing in their intelligence, believing in their capacity to make proper decisions. Of course, that, as I always say, this is a general reading that is going to make sense for some of you, hopefully. But basically, in general, for Pisces, there is like this big revelation coming. I feel a very big subconscious revelation coming during this period of time that is going to trigger, or it's going to put in question certain aspects of your life and people that you have been taking as granted, or as sure, or as that's how it is. You know, if there has been situations where, you know, there has been some red flags or some signs there and you have been avoiding looking, this is the month where those red flags are going to be you know, popping up more and more and more and more until you finally look at it. Because the Queen of Swords and the Justice here also tells you that you need to look at things. Don't be afraid to look at things. Don't be afraid to look at facts. Don't be afraid to make hard questions. Don't be afraid to have the difficult talk, because this is how you're going to rise and free yourselves, by knowing what's real. You know, that saying that the truth will set you free. It's a little bit like that during this period. So I hope you have a great month of December. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting to my channel. I really appreciate it. And please keep doing so. And hopefully we'll see each other soon.